Please be seated. Parents, family members, faculty, students, and friends, welcome to the closing exercises for the 8th grade class of 2022. We are all so grateful and so happy to be here in person, and to be here as a community to celebrate and to honor this very resilient and plucky, yet upbeat, kind-hearted, and gracious group of young people. At a time marked by ambiguity and paradox at best, and discord and divisiveness at worst, we are thankful for their stalwart example of compassion, understanding, and grace. At a time when we are having difficulties letting go of worries about the past and cannot keep from wringing our hands about potential problems of the future, I'm reminded of 3 succinct messages that help center me and help me to be more mindful and more present in the present moment. The first is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. The second is a quotation by Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. And the third message comes from a prayer attributed to St. Francis. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is discord, union. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved is to love. For as in the giving that we receive, is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, is in dying that we are born to eternal life. 8th graders, we are thankful for your grateful hearts and your resilient nature. As you leave Red Gables and move on to the high school, we wish you peace, compassion, happiness, and the fulfillment of all your hopes and dreams. We are so proud of how graciously and selflessly you have navigated these challenging times, and we look forward to a more tranquil, predictable, and peaceful future for you in the years to come. Thank you.
Good morning. I have the honor of introducing our student readers. Each year we pick 3 students that represent Ensworth and embody the characteristics of our school and our mission statement. This year, our readers are Mason Brunson, Julia Grace Lynn, and then I'll also introduce Cameron Obrey, who will present our 8th grade group. Mason Brunson.
In his poem, The Peace of Wild Things, the poet and essayist Wendell Berry frets openly about the fractious nature of today's world and his fears about the future. To allay his anxieties and concerns, Berry reflects upon both the beauty and wonder of the natural world and the importance of losing oneself in the present moment where he, and perhaps we all, can find or discover beauty, truth, grace, and peace. The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
And next we have Julia Grace Lynn.
In her poem, Wild Geese, the Pulitzer Prize and National Book Award-winning poet Mary Oliver begins her poem by cautioning her reader about the pitfalls and isolating nature of worry and despair. Instead of fretting over things that may not really matter, Oliver encourages her reader to relax, to connect with the larger world, and just to be. According to Oliver, we are all part of a larger, interconnected world, a place of peace and harmony. No matter how broken or isolated we may feel, as Oliver defiantly states in the last line of her poem, we are all a part of the family of things. Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things.
And to present our 8th grade gift, Cameron Obie.
If there is anything that the past few years have taught us, it is that we are so fortunate, so lucky, and so truly blessed to go to the Ensworth School, and more importantly, to be part of this special community. Not all middle school students would say this, but our class is grateful to have the opportunity to come to school each day, to be in school in person, and to enjoy all the trappings of an Ensworth Middle School experience. Ensworth is our home. The people here are our family. We value, appreciate, and are thankful for all this place has done for us throughout the years. In that spirit of appreciation, our class would like to pay our good fortune forward by making a contribution to the Bramer Family Endowed Fund, and in doing so, to celebrate the magic and wonder of the Ensworth community, to highlight the importance of the Ensworth family, and to honor Mr. Bramer's tireless and steadfast commitment to this place and all that makes Ensworth so special. Thank you.
This is obviously a very special day for the 8th grade class, as it marks a major milestone in their Ensworth journey, a journey which for many of these individuals began in August of 2013 as they clutched their tiger bags with a combination of fear and excitement on the first day of school, and will continue through their graduation 4 years from now. Before I direct a few remarks to the students themselves, I would like to take a moment to thank all of you for being here this morning. Fostering the growth and development of young people truly is a collaborative endeavor. And as I look out at the faces of the family, friends, teachers, coaches, and mentors of this 8th grade class, it is with a deep appreciation and gratitude for all that you have done to help shape these individuals into the people they are today. This truly is a special group whose talents are only surpassed by their boundless potential, and I'm grateful for all that you have done to help them to reach this day. And now to the 8th grade class. I promised a couple of you yesterday when sitting at lunch that I would keep my remarks brief, as I was asked to do so. So I will endeavor to do that. But I will say that seeing you at this juncture in your educational journey, I cannot help but think about when I was in your shoes as an 8th grader, back in the spring of 1983. Similar to you, I was fortunate enough to attend a multi-campus independent school like Ensworth. And I was part of a ceremony just like this that marked my transition from middle school to high school, from one campus to another. While I cannot remember anything specific about the ceremony itself, the most vivid memories I have of that time in my life are probably like those of any other kid growing up in the Boston area during the 1980s. What I remember the most about the spring of 1983 was basketball. You see, for me and everyone I knew, late May meant only one thing when I was growing up, and that was following the Boston Celtics in their quest to win another NBA championship. I will also admit that the relative success of this year's Celtics team, who are in the midst of their own successful playoff run, reminds me of that time. During the 80s, professional basketball was dominated by a few teams: the Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers in the East, and the Los Angeles Lakers in the West. As a result, there were tremendous rivalries between these teams, as the Celtics and the 76ers seemed to battle every year for the right to face the Lakers in the championship series. I clearly remember that the spring of 1983 happened to be a very disappointing one for the Celtics, as their poor performance in the playoffs opened the door for the 76ers to steamroll their way to the championship, defeating the Lakers in 4 straight. Despite my frustration with the Celtics that spring, there was a small silver lining in the fact that our rivals from Philadelphia were ultimately victorious. And that was knowing that the veteran superstar of the 76ers, an individual who was the face of that franchise, and who even in the throes of a heated rivalry was respected not only for his exceptional talent, but for how he conducted himself on and off the court, had finally won a championship. Before Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, before Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, back when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were just starting out, there was Dr. J, Julius Erving. Because of how he carried himself as a player and as a competitor, it was hard to root against Julius Erving, even if one hated his team. And so, with his career winding down, I was happy for him as he won his only NBA championship. While I realize that the history of professional basketball in the 1980s, or its role in my life at that time, is probably of very little interest to you, there is something that I heard Julius Erving say in an interview during that successful playoff run that has had a tremendous impact, that had a tremendous impact on me as an 8th grader. While not the first nor the last to state a variation of this theme, I distinctly remember Dr. J responding to a question about his approach to basketball with the statement, "Lose with dignity, win with grace, then go out the next day and do it all over again." What I heard in those words was a philosophy that transcends basketball, striking a chord that still resonates with me today. And I hope you will see the value in that statement as you look to your future. Losing with dignity is as important as it is difficult to do. The reality is that every one of you is going to encounter a range of disappointments in your life. There will be times when you come up short, when things don't work out as you would like, or in some cases, when you're simply overmatched by a challenge with which you are faced. In other words, there will be times when you lose. You have all faced situations like this, and I would contend that the unfortunate impact of COVID in the past 2 years created additional losses for all of us. While nobody likes to lose, the real question becomes, how do you handle these situations? How do you respond? I feel strongly that if you don't ever lose, you aren't ever really challenging yourself, and if you aren't challenging yourself, you aren't growing. The ability to lose with dignity speaks as much to your approach to a challenge as it does your response to a setback. If you put forth your best effort and are willing to learn from each experience, you will be in the best position possible to take responsibility for an outcome. And if that outcome is a loss, to lose with dignity and to move forward in a positive, productive manner, knowing that there will always be new opportunities and challenges ahead of you, and that you will be better prepared to handle whatever comes your way. As for winning with grace, that can be a challenge in its own right. Just as nobody likes to lose, everybody likes to win. And I have complete confidence that each of you will experience many, many successes in your future. Winning with grace, however, requires that you focus not simply on an achievement, but you take time to appreciate all that went into getting you to that point. Success almost never occurs in a vacuum, as there will always be others who have helped you to succeed. Do you acknowledge their contributions to your success, or is it all about you? And even in those instances where you believe that your successes are truly all your own, can you take as much pride in the process that you went through to get there as you do in the accomplishment itself? Winning with grace requires confidence without cockiness, and the understanding that while achievements are wonderful, they are not the sole definition of your success as a person. Winning is not an end in itself. It is the byproduct of hard work, the support and contributions of others, and a measure of good fortune. Recognize the factors that lead to your successes. Give credit where credit is due, and share these accomplishments with others. That is winning with grace, and doing so will make you a better, happier, more fulfilled person. The last part of this quote, the ability to go out the next day and do it all over again, has tremendous importance, as it will be the consistent application of your best efforts, whether they lead to victory or defeat, that will be critical to your continued development. Possessing the commitment and the resilience needed to effectively move from one challenge to the next, regardless of outcome, will allow you to productively build upon each experience and to move closer to realizing your full potential. This is about competing with yourself and possessing the desire to be best that you can be, which is ultimately far more important than judging yourself by external measures. In doing so, there is the recognition that just as disappointments can be overcome with hard work, successes can be undone without consistent follow-up. While taking this type of approach can be exhausting, your effort is one variable that you can control, making your ability to do your best on a daily basis quite possibly the most important component of your future success. And so, in conclusion, the experiences that you have each had at Red Gables, whether you have been here for 9 years or 1 year, have you poised to go forward with the confidence that you can overcome setbacks and that you can and will succeed. You should feel good about that. And this is something that you should never take for granted. Build upon your experiences at Red Gables. Nurture the relationships that you have developed during this time. And always remember, as you take the next step in your Ensworth journey, to lose with dignity, win with grace, and then go out the next day and do it all over again. Thank you. I would now like to invite Will Morrow, President of Ensworth Board of Trustees, to assist in the awarding of certificates to the 8th grade class.
Sadie Elise Anderson. Charles Lehman Atwood. Thomas Hobson Atwood. Ileana O'Neill Bachman. Eliza Caroline Baggett. Audrey Ryan Bailey. Judah Mitchell Bambick. Margaret Cliff Banks. Margaret Kate Barfield. Akeem Monet Beatty. Isaiah Russell Batten. Camden Haynes Billups. Rhodes Owen Boart. Thatcher Curtis Borden. Stefano Bosky Osmond. Christopher Gregory Brown. Mason Stewart Brunson. Peter Kennedy Bryant. Gabriella Salazar Bullock. Nelson Wood Butler. Anna Camila Cabrera Gutierrez. Hayden Mabry Cherry. David Choma. Christopher Maxwell Conk. Edward Holcomb Coppins. Michael Cowie. Catherine McCall Crawford. Elliot Bradford Darr. Matthew Giacomo Di Camillo. Evelyn Grace Denbo. Frances Claire Duval. Alexander Reese Dyer. Rodrigo Rendell Edwards, Jr. Claiborne Elam. Zoe Orabella Evelyn. Lillian Norbert Fleming. Paige McKinnon Figueres. Jacob Andrew Francie. Avery Franklin. Jackson Fisher Gallimore. Hattie Gray Gardner. Charlotte Martha Garza. William Robert Gherkin. Alex Vivian Glenn. Taylor Kate Gordon. Caroline Elizabeth Greer. Paige Alexandra Haas. Elizabeth Brooke Hadley. James Andrew Heinrichs. Cameron Edward Herring. Sumner Grace Hyatt. William Trexler Hooper. Justin Sean Hopkins. Caleb Hamilton Ingram. Lila Allison Jacobois. Foster Hubbard James. Nori Alexis Jameson. Sydney Elizabeth Johnson. Anna Catherine Jones. Maya Marie Jones. Harrison Tate Kilgore. Juliet Melissa Laffer. Julia Grace Lynn. Julia Rose Marks. Kathleen Ann McCandless. Mia Maria McDermott. Corinne Copeland McGehee. Aiden Charles Nick. Justin Brent Nosco II. Cameron Elijah Obi. Elliot Morgan Parker. Mary Nell Myers Pettigrew. Terrence Rico Reynolds III. Jack Nicholas Ross. Jordan Grace Scott. Caroline Spears Sifford. Elena Lee Sipe. Lillian Toller Sykes. Elena Jeanette Smith. Lily Elise Sonnenschein. John Colin Armour Spitzer. Mahir Adi Srivastava. Bishop Miguel Starling. Blake Michael Surratt. Jackson David Tompkins. Henry Edward Turberfield. Braden John Vallejo. Alana Jordan Wells. Riley Isabella Westcott. Elijah Thompson Wilt. Harper Louise Cameron Woolley. Elizabeth Hartman Sterling Wright. Eighth grade, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2026. You may be seated. And next, I would like to welcome to the podium our head of high school, Noel Hesse.
Thank you, Dr. Mason. Dear members of the Ensworth class of 2026, congratulations on all that you have accomplished to this point in your journey at Ensworth. Each of you has achieved an important milestone in your life, having demonstrated the knowledge and skills required to take on the challenges and assume the responsibilities that lie ahead as you transition to the next phase of your growth and development. In a few short months, after what I hope is a restful and rejuvenating summer, your journey will continue on a new campus. Much of what you have come to expect here at Red Gables: dedicated professional educators who care deeply for the students in their charge, challenging academic courses that ask you to grow and stretch your minds, and a plethora of experiences outside of the classroom that help you grow personally. All these await you in high school as well. In the coming years, new opportunities to discover parts of your intellect, your talents, and your abilities that you never knew existed will present themselves. And I encourage you to take full advantage of each and every one of them. If you do, you will find yourself transformed by the experience into the very best version of yourself. Everyone in this room, your teachers, your coaches, advisors, and most importantly, your parents, are proud of who you are presently and of who you are becoming. They cannot wait to see what lies in store for you in the coming years, and neither can I. On behalf of the faculty and staff at Frisk Campus, I am thrilled to welcome you to the high school. We look forward to seeing you just a few miles down the road in the fall. Your futures are bright indeed, and the high school's future will be even brighter with the addition of the class of 2026. And now I invite everyone to please rise and join us in the singing of the Alma Mater.
You may be seated. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness. Resilience is the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape. Resilience is a remarkable trait that few people master. Nevertheless, the class of 26 embodies the term. You have overcome many obstacles and have sustained a spirit of resilience. As you journey to 9th grade, I want to encourage you to keep the spirit of resilience. Never quit being the unique, loving, thoughtful, and caring people you are. Allow me to share with you a poem that has inspired me as I journey through life. I hope you embrace the wisdom in its words. Don't Quit by Edgar Albert Guest. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a failure turns about when he might have won if he had stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You might succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit, and when things seem worse, that you must not quit. Class of 26, always strive to do your best. Keep working hard and keep playing hard. Embrace life, and whatever you do, don't quit. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you again the class of 2026. You may stand.